Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. So happy to have you here. So happy to have you join me. I am so looking forward to today working with the chakra 8. So now we're moving out of what is known as sort of the physical energy centers and into the biofield of energy centers. And it makes sense because this energy center, the energy centers within our body expand out into our biofield, into what's also known as our aura. And the difference is, and I think the reason why people have a hard time writing about these eight, the higher chakras that are outside of past the crown chakra, is because it has to do with the biofield. And that's something that's so important to us. It's so important to our health. It's so important to our medical world. But yet, it is still, it's like the best kept secret. It is truly the best kept secret. So people aren't able to really relate to them. But yes, you can, common sense would make sense that if we've got this field of energy around our body, and we've got this field of energy that's been detected within our spectrum of just off our body. And we know that we go from a more of a structured layer to a fluid layer. The first is more of a structured layer, and the second is more of a fluid layer. And then we go into the third, which is the mental, which is more of a structured layer. And we go into the fourth, which was the astral, which was more of a fluid layer. And we went up to the fifth, which is the blueprint. And that's more of a structured layer. It's like a shelf. I can almost hang my hands on it if I'm working with somebody with that biofield energy. It's like a shelf. It's like a drawer I can pull open. It has the template. It has the blueprint of this matrix. And then the sixth goes more into that illusion delusion. It makes sense. It's more fluid. It's the thought forms. And we go into the seventh, and it's more structured because it's the step up into the transpersonal. So guess what the eighth is? The eighth is a bit more fluid. It's a bit more fluid. And that's where we're exploring, adventuring into that fluid layer. My name's Deborah O'Neill, and I'm the CEO and founder of BlissBee.me, Integrative Holistic Health. I'm here to share because I care. And we explore into these curiosities, these places that are full of wellness for our beingness. It is our true cellular health. When I say we're working with our cellular health, we are working with our total cellular health. Because energy is everywhere. And this is your signature. This is your signature, your energetic signature. This is your energetic connection. Everything must come through our field before it comes into the physical reality. It's kind of like what we've been doing in this whole journey, with working with the dynamics of setting in our grounding, centering, aligning, starting with our physicality, starting with that security, that groundedness to the earth. So then we can go on an exploration into the field of energy. I've been looking and looking and looking for people's, writers and authors' words on the wisdom of this biofield and studying it. I find it way easier to work with it in a treatment, to be able to go into that level, that frequency, that vibration, and get a sense of whether it's fluid or not. You know, if there's something blocking it. I don't know if you've seen the video of Eileen Cusick on the Facebook page. And she works with the tuning forks, and I too work with the tuning forks. And the tuning forks, when they come into something that's in the field, guess what they do? They change, or they soften, or they squeal, or they shift. They shift, and with that shift, that's part of the observation, because we're going and looking, we're becoming aware, we're observing what's actually happening, and working with the intelligence of our body. And that's what meditation is too. That's what meditation is. That's what breath is. Breath is the ability to breathe in, become aware, notice if there's any blockages, notice if there's any jerks in your breath. Because if there's jerks in your breath, then there's jerks in your thoughts. It's a mirror of one another. Becoming aware of who we stumble in, who we stumble upon, and noticing what that mirror reflection is back to us, and what that opportunity offers us in figuring out something about ourselves. It's like, oh, what was that thought about? Where did that thought come from and why? I was outside today. It's garbage day. I was putting my garbage out, and there's a lovely older man that comes around and goes through all the recycling bins. And he's well dressed. He drives around, and that's his hobby, I think, as being retired. It's his opportunity to get out every morning and go exploring what's in people's blue bins. And we had a little chit chat. I said, hey, good morning. How are you today? And he just stopped and he says, wow. He says, I love your yard. And I'm like, well, it's a bit rainy and cold. I haven't been doing much. And he's like, oh, we started talking about raspberries in his garden. And what a beautiful opportunity. And I think how many people maybe don't even pay any attention to him when they're putting out his garbage. Lovely, lovely human being. Really a joyful, experience, communication with another human this morning. Really stepping up and noticing people and noticing how I'm showing up for people in all spaces, in all places. So what is Barbara Brennan? She is the master of being able to see energy. And she's now retired out of her school. I followed a lot of her work because my teacher at Langara College was a student for many years of Barbara Brennan, and she was also a student and a disciple to Sri Aurobindo Ghosh in South India. So those are the two works that were primary to our studies, along with the works of Peter Levine in trauma, the polyvagal theory, is the Dutch name. It's just escaped me for this second. And I don't want to do him a disservice by saying his name wrong. Anyways, many trauma authors, and James Oshman, also magnificent writer on the biofield. So basically, Barbara Brennan says there's 2 levels above the 7th that she's willing to write about at this time, that she's able to see at this point, the 8th and the 9th levels. They are each associated with that crystalline energy, that crystalline opulescence, she says, when she sees it. And it's composed of very fine, high vibrations. The 8th and 9th levels seem to follow the general pattern of alternating in substances. The 8th level and the 9th the 8th is more of a form, or the 9th is more of a form, and the 8th is more of fluid. And it's a crystalline template of everything below it. So basically, it's holding the structure of all that is. All that is. And it's also said to be a bit of a golden opulescence. And that's about all that I have been able to determine thus far. If I go back to the writings of Patricia Mercier, she talks about the 9th as the stellar gateway. So, and she's saying that this is the highest link that we can make with creation at this time in the evolution of humanity. And she says that sits about 12 inches above our head. So we've got one here, 6 inches, and then we've got one a little bit higher, which is 12 inches. And then there's also the 10th, which is said to be like almost like a grounding point to the point that's below our feet, that earth star that's below our feet from in our energy centers. So it makes sense that we have places, they're like buttons, they're circles, they're energy circles that allow that structure of our field to stay intact so that it wobbles along with us, and it contracts and expands. Everything in the earth, in our globe, in the cosmos, is in a contraction and expansion. Everything is breathing, and so everything has its place. Everything has its form. So in this massive, massive matrix, including our solar system, everything stays held. It's like that lake. It's like that container. Everything stays held, and we are truly all one. Because if something happened to our Earth, it would put the whole solar system, the whole universe off kilter as well. They talked about another stone when they're talking about the ninth as well. The ninth is called the stellar gateway. That's how it's referenced. And I'm just trying to get my stone out of here because I have it in a necklace, because when I meditate and I'm working with the higher realms, or if I'm working with the higher realms, I like to have it around my neck. And always having the stone nearby. And it is called moldavite. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can give you some light on it. Yeah. So it's transparent, pretty much. And it is from meteorite. It's really, really, really expensive. I think I paid a pretty penny for this little piece of moldavite. I liked it because it kind of looked like a person, or where is it? I can't see because there's comments, so I don't really know where I'm pushing or putting it. There we go. So this is called moldavite, and it's for reaching those higher realms, for bringing ourselves attuned to it. And it also can sit on my head, but I choose to wear it around my neck. So when we talk about the ninth, let's go right into the ninth today for a little bit. Well, actually, let's not. Let's just stick with the eighth and go right into our grounding and centering and aligning. We'll talk about the ninth tomorrow because it's already time to go into the grounding. So feeling our feet on the floor and bringing our imagination into the etheric feet and down into the central core of the earth. Sending your intention. What's your intention? Set that intention for that superhighway to be connected to that central core of the earth. We're establishing the Hara line and bringing that Mother Earth energy up into the lower feet. Bring it like a vacuum. So just suck it right up into the lower feet and allow those feet to be your foundation. Plant those 4 points on the ground. You could open your yoga toes and suction them in, like as if you were standing into mountain pose in or Tadasana at the front of your yoga mat. Pull that earth energy up in and to the calves and the knees and the thighs, and see that red. We did that color meditation. See that red as you pull it up into that red first chakra. And allow that redness to become a beautiful, brilliant red, deep red. See that redness of the Mother Earth coming up. Now we're going to incorporate the other colors as we come up. We're going to bring it up into the emotional level, chakra 2, which is orange. We're going to see that swirling of that red with the orange. And sense it going in a circular clockwise fashion, so sort of swirling towards your left hand in a circle. And now let's breathe it up into Manipura, the city of jewels, chakra 3. It's yellow, beautiful, bright yellow, and blending with this red earth energy that we're filling up in our full capacity of our body. And inviting this red Mother Earth energy, this brilliant red energy, up to the green, like the green grass or a green apple, Granny Smith apple. Allow that red to swirl and blend with this green area of the heart. And allowing that energy to swirl over the shoulders. Roll your shoulders back ever so gently down your arms into your hands. Bringing your energy back into that green and red that's swirling around, and bring it up now into the blue, into Vishuddhi, our throat chakra. My will is thy will. Where we relax that egoic center and bring that Mother Earth energy, the red swirling with that blue. See those two colors swirling as we bathe the neck in this area. And coming up into the sixth chakra and bringing that red Mother Earth energy up into this sixth chakra. Let's bathe it with violet and red. See the swirling of this violet and red in the center. And if you're working your hands like I'm working my hands, feel the energy that's coming off your fingertips or off your hands. Feel the warmth, the difference in the temperature, perhaps. Or feel whatever it may be. It might be just little tingles like you're, yeah. And then bring that red earth energy up into Sahasrara and blend it with the gold and white light of Sahasrara, blending that white and red and gold together. And if it feels right for you today, allow that to spill over your body and turn on all your sensories and your nerve endings of your body as that beautiful energy washes down your body. That's another beautiful way to bring in your grounding and work with activating and nourishing each of your energy centers. Now let's go into our centering and creating, reestablishing that line again from the central core of the earth through the sit bones on our chairs, those two points in through the perineum, it's called, and up through the spine, and center into that still point. And then come up through that still point, out the top of the head, and direct that fine line to divine, creator, God, source, Father, sky, ascended masters, to whichever it is that you call on. And allow for that golden white light energy from divine, creator, God, source, higher self to come down and into permission to receive, permission to heal whatever needs to be healed at this moment in time, and invite it in. We can keep our hands up in the 8th and the 9th. I believe that those are there to help with that structure of that fine line to divine. Part of the antenna that we send out, that permission to receive, breathing that golden white light into the body. And feeling it come down into your chest and your shoulders and your arms and your hands. What do you notice today? Into your lower abdomen, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, and your feet. Coming to your breath awareness, putting your hand on your lower abdomen, feeling the expansion as you breathe in. And the natural retraction on the exhale as you breathe out. It's really interesting because when I think about it, the diaphragm, when we breathe in, the diaphragm goes down. And when we breathe out, the diaphragm comes up. So you can feel on the exhale how the diaphragm relaxes. If that sort of imagery works better for you to follow along for your deep diaphragmatic breath, I invite you to do that. It's feeling that exercise of that muscle in the body. Tuning into that even subtler level of defining which muscle is actually working in the vessel, in this beautiful organism while we are working. And allowing that muscle to have its full experience, its full expansion, and its full contraction. Because it's in that full expansion and that full contraction that we breathe in even greater oxygen. And oxygen is the life force to our blood, to our cells, to our muscles, to our bones, to our marrow, to every part of this organism. It is the oxygen and that flow of that inhalation and that exhalation, that expansion and that contraction. And our homeostasis, our balance is to be aware of where that may not be happening, where that's not taking place. I have this little tiny, like a little cyst on my arm here that I can feel it. It feels like a little pea right underneath my skin. And I'm like, okay, so there's something there that's obviously over time was not moving. It was not moving. And now it's accumulated. And now it's even greater difficulty to get movement in there. So I've been working with it energetically and physically with my finger to pay attention to it and ask what it needs, and to work with healing it. Exactly, to work with healing it. And it's on the left side of my body. I know when I look back at the videos and I refer to this as my left, it looks like it's my right, but it's obviously somehow the camera is picking up it and mirroring it on the reverse side. So yes, I do know my left from my right. Let's go into our mantra meditation. And breathe in again on the inhalation and the exhalation. And let's do one with sound. Inhalation and with sound. Get that last little bit of that CO2 out of the body. And now let's breathe in for so and exhale for hum as we go into our 2 minutes together and go to that still place. Unengage ourselves from our thoughts. Set up the train so we can just allow them to go past on the train or go up in a bubble. This permission slip to step back. To step back. Let's breathe in the wisdom of the 8th chakra as well. And let's be with that. Since we were with it today, we've created that vortex and that golden field. That golden field that surrounds this eggshell that we are engulfed in our energy field, our human energy field. HEF, human energy field. UEF, universal energy field. All connected. Breathing in on so. And breathing out on hum. Breathing in on so. And breathing out on hum. Now I'd like you to take that mantra and I'd like you to drop it down into your heart. So you're breathing into the so into your heart. Breathing in so. And breathing out hum. I'd like you to bring your mantra back up to your third eye, in between your forehead, your eyebrows, breathing in so. And breathing out hum. Breathing in so. And breathing out hum. Breathing in so. Breathing out hum. Thank you so much for sitting with me today. How was your experience between breathing into your mantra into the third eye, and up in the forehead, between the eyebrows, or breathing it into your heart? Did you notice that there's an easier place that offered that expansion of your field? Did something feel more comfortable or less comfortable? Oh, there it is. Oops. Or maybe not. Let's do another shuffle. There's a whole bunch of cards there. Peace. Which area created more peace for you? Peace is an unshakable peace. It is an unshakable peace that can be found, the true power. Let me repeat that again. It is an unshakable peace that can be found, the true power. It is by a quiet, strong, and persistent peace that the true victories can be won. It is by a quiet, strong, and persistent peace that the true victories can be won. How did you manage getting kicked out today of your meditation? How was that for you? In that peace place. Sending so much love, so much love. This beautiful day. Find your place of peace. And know that to be true for you. That peace of bliss. With love. Hope to see you tomorrow. We'll venture into another different form of meditation tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Make it a great day.